Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the chapter 6 tissue, which is very important chapter for your term 1. Till now we have discussed about the fundamental unit of life, that is cell, and we have seen that uh, on this earth there are different types of organisms. There are some unicellular, there are some multicellulars. So before talking about the word tissue and its importance and different types of tissues in plants and animals, before that you must know about the levels of organization. What does it mean? In chemistry, you used to study that the smallest unit of matter is atom. So similarly, all the organisms present on this earth are made up of atoms like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. In higher classes, you will study that during the evolutionary time when earth came into existence and the first life form came into existence on the earth, at that time chemical evolution occurred. That is, atoms in the atmosphere combined to form molecules, and then molecules combined to form macromolecules. Like we have proteins, we have carbohydrates, we have DNA, that is the nucleic acid, we have fats, lipids, by which our body organization is formed. Then these macromolecules organize togetherly to form organelles. We have done in chapter 5, the fundamental unit of life, that the cell is the structural and functional unit of life, and it is only possible due to the organelles present inside the cell. And you know that organelles are present in case of eukaryotes. So and you know that prokaryotes are unicellular. So that tissue chapter is completely dedicated to the multicellular organisms, and multicellular organisms are always eukaryotes. So atoms form molecules and molecules form macromolecules, and you just study about these things in the chemistry. Then these macromolecules like DNA, RNA, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, these together form organelles. Then organelles organized to form cell. Now in our body there are millions, trillions of cells, and different cells perform different functions. But when a group of similar or dissimilar cells togetherly perform a common function, at that time they form a tissue, which is our main concern. So the group of cells which togetherly perform a common function is known as tissue. Then in our body, like one particular organ may have different types of tissues. So different tissues togetherly form organs. For example, our blood is a tissue. We will discuss in this chapter that blood is a tissue. Then there is a muscular tissue. Then there is a nervous tissue. Then there is a epithelial tissue, like your skin, that is the outermost covering, is made up of epithelial tissue. So different types of tissues togetherly form organ. In look, this is the heart. In heart there is a blood, there is a muscle. So beside this, there is a connective tissue, there is a epithelial tissue, which I will discuss later on. Different tissues togetherly form organs, and then different organs togetherly form organ systems. So if you look at the circulatory system, you will study in the higher classes, like in class 10 you will study in life processes, which is very important. First chapter of bio in class 10, that like in circulatory system there are blood vessels, there is a blood, there is a heart, and these different structures togetherly form organ systems. And then organ systems togetherly form whole organism. Like this is the human baby, which is a whole organism made up of organ systems. But if you look at the scenario around yourself, Like there are certain creatures which are having not the organ system level of organization. Besides this, they have either organ level of organization. We will discuss in chapter biodiversity that in certain organisms there can be a level of organization like organ level of organization or tissue level of organization or cellular level of organization. Like there is a one particular group of kingdom Animalia. We will discuss about this later on. Those animals are made up of just a cluster of cells. They do not have any kind of organ or organ system. So you must know a little bit about the levels of organization in different organisms. We will discuss this in chapter biodiversity also, which you have this year in class 9. But now my main concern is in the tissue, which is the group of cells. So first of all, you must know about the definition of tissue. That is a group of cells that are similar in structure or work together to achieve a particular function forms a tissue. यानी कोई एक तरह के cells which can be different और which can be same वो मिलके एक common function perform करेंगे. Like हमारी बॉडी में जैसे ब्लड है, ब्लड एक टिश्यू है, उसमें WBCs हैं, RBCs हैं, प्लेटलेट्स हैं, ब्लड प्लाज्मा है, वो डिफरेंट स्ट्रक्चर हैं बट सभी एक कॉमन फंक्शन परफॉर्म करते हैं, दैट इज़ टू ट्रांसपोर्ट द वेरियस सब्सटेंसेस. सो ऐसे ही प्लांट्स में भी टिश्यू है. इन सम केसेस in a particular tissue one cell perform one function, another cell perform another function, but it is not necessary. Usually the definition is that a group of cells which togetherly achieve a common function, we call it as tissue. Now what is the utility of tissue in multicellular organisms? As I told you, tissue is present only in case of multicellular organisms. You can't talk about the tissue in unicellular organisms because tissue is a cluster of cells. Unicellular organisms are made up of single cell. Now let's compare that what is the utility of the tissue. Like if we talk about unicellular organisms like amoeba, it's a unicellular organism. If you will look at the amoeba, it's a single celled organism. We know that cell is the functional unit of life. One cell can perform all the basic functions performed by whole individual. In amoeba itself performs circulation, nutrition, respiration, even the whole cell perform reproduction, means one cell performs all the functions. But when we look at the multicellular organisms in which there are tissues, different tissues perform different functions. There are different tissues for reproduction, different tissues which are involved in protection, some are involved in digestion, some are involved in respiration. So different tissues form organs and organs perform specific function. So if we'll compare these two scenarios, in which case there will be more efficiency, that which one can perform the functions more efficiently. Of course, multicellular organism in which there is a division of labor. What do you mean by division of labor? It means that one cell will perform one or few particular functions, not more than that. It doesn't mean that one cell will perform all the functions. We know that cell is the functional unit of life, but still in case of the tissue, one cell or one particular tissue will perform one particular function. So not more than that. So it means there is a division of labor. One particular cell will perform one particular function. So that leads to the division of work. So there will be more efficiency. Multicellular organisms are efficient as compared to the unicellular organisms due to the presence of level of organization like tissue, organ or organ systems. So from this video you will get idea about the levels of organization, what is tissue and what is the utility of tissue in multicellular organisms, in which you must know about division of labor, that how efficiently organisms can work. In my next video, we will discuss about the difference between plant tissue and animal tissue. So we're gonna discuss about the most important differences by which you will be able to understand further about details of plant tissue. And then after discussing about the differences between plant tissue and animal tissue, we will discuss about types of plant tissue. So you will see in my next video the discussion about the different types of plant tissue. Thank you.